Hi, this is Scott Wilkinson, host of Home Theater Geeks. In episode 261, I roam the exhibit floor of CE Week 2015, talking with manufacturers about what's new in audio and video. So stay tuned.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Home Theater Geeks is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
This is Home Theater Geeks with Scott Wilkinson, recorded June 24th, 2015. Episode 261, live from CE Week 2015. This episode of Home Theater Geeks is brought to you by Casper, an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price. Because everyone deserves a great night's sleep. Get $50 off any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/HTG and entering the promo code HTG. Hey there, Scott Wilkinson here, the home theater geek and editor of avsforum.com. This week, I'm in lovely New York City, attending CE Week, the mid-year gathering of the consumer electronics industry. I'll be interviewing representatives from several of the exhibitors here in their booth, so let's go check it out. I'm here in the Westinghouse booth talking with marketing manager Brett Hunt. Brett, what's new from Westinghouse?
Well, we got a couple of great new items that we can show you today. First of all, we have our 65-inch 4K TV that we're showing here at CE Week. It's Netflix certified, one of the few manufacturers that are Netflix certified in 4K. It also has like 10 different apps on it where you can play YouTube, Voodoo, you can check your weather, and you can also do a thing called Tune Googles for the kids.
Cool. So that's 65-inch. What's the list price on that?
List price is $12.99 for that.
Holy smokes.
It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. So, and also I think you have a 42?
Yeah, we have a 42. The actual range of products goes 42, 50, 55, 65, 75, and 85. So those are going to range from $4.99 for the 42 all the way up to $6.99 for the 85.
You mean $6,000?
$6,999. Yeah.
Just make sure.
Yeah,
$700 for an 80-inch. No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
$7,000. Okay, that makes more sense. And they're all smart TVs. They all have these apps in them.
Yeah, they're all smart. They have the apps. They also have firmware that'll be upgradable. So in the near future, when we do get Amazon, they'll be upgradable to that.
Fantastic. Also at the show is a pretty cool new media server, I think.
Yeah, we have a new media 4K media player. It has a lot of the same functionality as our 4K TVs. Has the same type of apps. However, this has a little bit more broader chip by Broadcom, where it'll help upconvert a lot of your 1080p, 720p media to your 4K TV. It also has the ability to take SD cards, USB thumb drives, and play media directly off that. Where you get that off of your GoPro cameras that are shooting 4K right now, you can actually play those through the media player.
Does it? So it must have some storage in it internally, right?
There's really no storage internally. It's all external. You can hook up an external hard drive to it. We wanted to make sure that we use the functionality to upgrade a lot more and give you that near 4K quality.
And what's the list price on that?
List price is going to be $199.
$200. Who could believe it?
That's another great deal.
Yeah. When are these products coming out to market?
The 4K TVs are going to be available July 1st, and then the media player is about 2 months away.
And you're in most of the major retailers, right?
Yeah, we'll be in Target, Best Buy. You can find us online.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for talking with us. I'm in the Hear Notes booth talking with Patrick Donahue, founder of the company. And Patrick, you've got something pretty new and exciting to tell us about, don't you?
Well, we'd certainly like to think so, yes.
So tell us about it.
So Hear Notes is actually a company that I founded about 1.5 years ago that's on a mission to pioneer the evolution of portable audio so that people like you and I can fully capture the spirit of music. What you're looking at really here and what we're debuting is generation 1 of that idea. It's called the Universal Edition, and it's truly wire-free earbuds that are built with a technology that is inherently superior to Bluetooth, called Clear that is built for high-fidelity, lossless stereo audio transmission up to 50 feet, and again with no wires.
You know, we've had wireless audio for quite some time, but you jumped the gun on me when I was going to ask, well, so is this Bluetooth? Obviously not. It's something new. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Absolutely. So the key differentiator between ourselves and what maybe other companies have tried to do is that they have generally used the Bluetooth technology. Bluetooth was never developed for music listening, and for people that really appreciate that, let alone the audiophiles, just people in general that do like to listen to music, there is something that is lost through either the latency or the interference that Bluetooth comes with just as part of its nature. So the Clear technology, it doesn't do necessarily all the tricks that Bluetooth can. It does one thing just incredibly brilliantly well, and that's streaming music, but it does it with stereo transmission, and it does it without wires. And again, with Bluetooth, even in the wireless versions of what we've done, there's generally a wire that connects the left and right earbud. And we actually thought that was interestingly deceptive. Therefore, we're very specific to call ourselves wire-free.
Wire-free. And these little earbuds, we're going to take a look at them here, and they're just little things that stick in your ear, and there's no wires coming out of them at all.
Yes, sir. They're actually the weight of about 2 quarters. So we're very proud of how small and light we were able to get them, but they're also ergonomic, clearly, because for the active individual who likes to run or work out or, even just kind of pace around the house, maybe in a creative, endeavor, and listen to their music, they need to be able to feel like they have these earbuds that are comfortable and secure. So we're actually pretty proud of the way that this is able to meet both form and function in that way.
Now, probably there are a lot of source devices with Bluetooth, not very many with Clear, this technology. So do you have a little transmitter that you have to plug into the source device?
That's a great question, and we do have a transmitter. And what the ultimate goal, of course, is for Clear or some variant of that, maybe even one that we start looking at proprietarily, starts to become so ubiquitous that it becomes looked at as a replacement for Bluetooth in music. But for today in Generation 1, yes, we have a transmitter that is about the same size and shape as the earbuds and just fits in your headphone jack of whether it's your phone, your music player, your television, your computer, whatever it is.
Now, is Clear something that Hear Notes developed, or is that something that is out in the market that you've decided to adopt rather than Bluetooth?
Well, we didn't develop the technology, but what we did develop was the form function, the design and the form factor that was something we felt could be adopted by the consumer. As you know, in today's market, there is an increasingly greater pressure to look good or to be fashionable. That's a challenge when you've got a newer technology that people aren't familiar with. So where I think our predecessors, and there's been about a handful of them, but it's been a few years, like Sennheiser and RCA have given it a shot, but unfortunately it never took because it just wasn't necessarily something you'd probably want to see in public wearing. So we developed at least the design itself that is something that is hopefully distinct to our company and unique for that.
So style, form, and function.
You got it. That's it.
Any other products besides the earbuds and the transmitter?
No, not yet. But
that's it. Okay.
But as we said, this was the generational debut of our product, and the goal is ultimately to develop subsequent generations that are each progressively a step forward with the technology, so that people like you and I can capture the spirit of music.
Sounds fantastic. Can't wait to try it.
Sounds good. We'll make sure you get a unit as soon as possible.
Thanks so much.
Of course. Thank you.
Here in the Vivotek booth, I'm talking with Mitch Rausch, Director of Business Development. And Mitch, I see 3 projector products in here that look pretty interesting. Tell us about them.
Yes, we're introducing the LU8000, which you're seeing behind us. It's an 8,000 lumen laser projector, laser phosphor wheel, wide UXGA, so 1920 by 1200 resolution, and that'll be available in December. The second product we're looking at is the ultra short throw UST 758, which is 1080p with a 0.37 lens, so we can get a 100-inch image from about a 1.5 feet away. which is good for here in New York, especially.
Really good for here in New York.
Yes. And then the third product we're looking at is the DU9000, which is a 11,000 lumen large venue product. We're actually showing it here today with one of its interchangeable color wheels, so we're producing accurate colors as opposed to going for full brightness. And that again is wide UXGA.
So 1920 by 1200.
Correct.
By accurate color, are you talking about 709 color?
Yeah, so we're Rec 709 there. Also 3G SDI and HD-based built into it.
And do we have a price on that?
That is $25,000.
It's a large venue projector.
Yes.
So, you know, you expect it to be. And the laser phosphor projector here that we're looking at behind us is a prototype, so you might not have pricing on that yet.
So I do. It's $12,000. It'll be available in January.
Now, can it be used in a short throw or a long throw configuration?
You're currently looking at it in an ultra short throw, so that 150-inch image behind us is being generated from about 3 feet away.
Now, how much brightness can the laser phosphor projector generate?
This unit currently is putting out around 7,800 lumens. When we dial it in and get the timing right, it'll be about 8,000 lumens directly.
And what about the color gamut of the laser projector?
Very wide, much similar to LED projectors. You get a much better color depth perception, so it appears brighter than it actually is because of the colors.
Well, this is all very great. Vivotek's long been a good value projector, and this all looks fantastic. I wish you all the best success. Here in the Kimber Kable booth, I'm talking to none other than Ray Kimber himself, founder, chief custodian, and bottle washer. And you've got some interesting news here about cables, of course, being the Kimber Kable.
Yes, yes we do. A number of years ago, Sony approached us to design a headphone cable for them for their new high-end model. And so out of that came this cable, and it was surprisingly higher quality sonically than what they had been using. So that was a good deal. And I understand that they are selling 6 times more than they thought they ever would. So the sales have been pretty remarkable. Yeah. And so then once we got going with this, we thought, well, we need to build our own Kimber Kable product, and so that now we have this, which is a much more elegant looking cable, better conductors, better insulators, and we worked out how to have a junctionless split. So it goes from 16 braids to a pair of 8 braids, and it's all machined.
Totally seamless. It looks like it just splits apart, but with no seams or junction of any sort.
Right. And so this cable has been quite a revelation. You plug this into between your normal headphone source and whatever headphones you've been doing, quite a change in the quality. And we've always been involved with high-end tinkering, I guess. My theory is that if you're in high-end audio long enough, you will do 3 things: make your own recordings, build your own speakers, and build a pipe organ. And I'm really pretty much all there.
You've built a pipe organ?
We've got pipes in the back area of the thing, and we're actually building a 3-manual 100-rank organ, electronic organ for Weber State. Wow. And if you ever want to know how stupid you are, try and build an organ. That's it.
I've asked Bob Heil about this. You might know the name Bob Heil. He makes microphones, and he's a big organ guy himself, so you know, it's not surprising, I suppose, that you're into it as well.
No, it's one of those fundamental things that you just get hooked on and you just have to go with. But we've also done high-end recordings, and we were tinkering with a crossover issue, and I thought, wow, you know, if two woofer and a tweeter are causing an issue when they're combined acoustically, it has to be that 2 microphones combined electrically have the same problem on the recording end of it. And so the result was that I worked on this gigantic baffle to kind of separate that and prove the theory, and it seems to work. So we've got nearly a dozen commercial releases on the market, most of them acoustic, like string quartets and piano and drum corps, which is pretty astonishing. So we're doing recordings and we're doing speakers and we're doing stuff, but the recording is commercial. Of course, we can never build speakers because that's just not our business. Yeah. But Kimber Kable, we started in 1979. We've now got a facility 1.5 times the size of a football field. 60% of our exports, 60% of our products are exported. Last year I was an expert witness in front of the Senate Finance Committee on trademark issues and patent trolling. I know that was pretty hefty stuff. And then the university honored me with a doctorate of humanities just last week. So I could give a long list of people who were more qualified than I am, but that was a very cool experience and I was very, very honored. And so that's kind of what's happening at Kimber Kable these days.
Fantastic. Now you've always been involved in, or as much as there has been, high-res audio, right? And you're doing some demonstrations here in that regard as well.
Yes, and so we have direct stream digital, which is the 2.8 meg sampling rate here.
The foundation of SACD, DSD.
That is correct. And then we, more recently, just in the last 9 months, all of our recordings are now at 4 times that rate. So 11 point whatever that is, can't do the math in my head. So it's really astonishing, and we're co-exhibiting with a company called Merging Technology out of Switzerland, and they are the guys when it comes to high-end direct stream digital. They came from the Sony and Philips to form Merging, and so they really are the pro guys. And they're releasing a consumer device for the first time. So this is kind of a sneak peek at Merging's DAC, which is network attached DAC.
Wow, and here it is right here.
Yes. And
it operates at 4 times DSD rate?
Up to 4 times DSD, and in PCM it operates at 352 32-bit. So that's twice the 192.
384, I think.
Yeah, well, 350. No, so it's 4 times the 44.1 base, so whatever that is.
Well, it looks like a lot of cool things happening, and I'm hoping to get you on my podcast later to talk about all this in more depth.
You have a deal.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. You know, I just got finished talking with Ray Kimber, and he was talking about the Merging Technologies new DAC product, and who did I run into but Dominique Brulhart, the head of software engineering at Merging Technologies. So tell us a little bit more about this new product.
Good morning. This product is called DAC, for Network Attached DAC, which is the next generation of our product that we aim for the consumer market. We're originally on the pro audio market. We're designing converters and workstation, the workstation Pyramix, since more than 25 years. We're celebrating 25th anniversary this year, actually. And we've been deeply involved in high resolution since the beginning. We linked with Sony and Philips in 2000 and worked with them strongly in the DSD and SACD project. So our workstation Pyramix is today the only one remaining producing SACDs and DSD production. So we've been releasing 4 years ago a new converter called Horus, who was the first one doing quad DSD, which is DSD 256 11.2 megahertz. And it's been very successful and does fantastic, superb quality recordings. And it was time 2 years ago that we decided with our customers on the mastering side, the labels, to actually make a consumer product so they could enjoy the quality of the masters produced with our equipment. The SACD is going not too good today, and the files download is taking over. And anyway, double DSD and quad DSD is taking over single DSD, which is not available in SACDs, basically. So there had to be an equipment able to deal with quad DSD and multi-channel. And this is that DAC product that we're coming. It's called DAC because of network attached DAC, because with our Pro Audio equipment, we only deal with Ethernet as far as connection is involved. We never did Firewire or USB. We're straight in the connected world of today. So this DAC comes only with a, not only, but yeah, only with a Ethernet connection, which allows by default for multi-zone, multi-room. This device can listen to every available PC or Mac on the network. Easily you just select on the front panel which one you want to listen. So it's very ergonomic and handy to operate. And it provides that very high quality that the Pro audio equipment provides.
Now you have, you told me off the air, you have both 2-channel and multi-channel versions?
Yeah, so we immediately came up with 2 versions, the stereo and the multi-channel. We know the market is still strongly stereo, while the SACD is there since 15 years, and it's mostly 5.1 or 5.0, depending the production. So there is a market for that, but maybe not everybody is ready for that. So we have both versions.
And what kind of price point are we talking about?
The stereo version will be 9,000 US, and the 8-channel version will be 10.
Available now, or when will it be coming out?
It's available in August time. We'll be shipping quantities in August time.
And you have some distribution here in the United States?
It's being setting up these days, and we're going to announce that very, very soon.
Fantastic. Well, it's really exciting. I'm glad to see your move from the professional world into the consumer world.
As opposed to a few of our competitors and actually friends from the time, many of those who were in the consumer, in the pro audio world, some who made the step in the consumer world didn't regret it. That's a nice market. That's a fantastic product to be created. We do think that if we do that move, and we're doing it, we will not give up with the other world, where all our expertise is there, and all our mastering engineers, recording engineers, customers actually count on us to stay there. Yeah, yeah. And we're aiming to make really now the bridge between the production world and the consumer world in terms of content. Because technology today and Ethernet bandwidth allows for delivering masters, real masters, to the end users today. And so the dream of delivering master tapes or master production is literally true today. You can deliver those very exact files that have been done in the studios today without compromise, without compression, without anything. So we're strongly aiming to stay both feet in both markets. That's the goal.
Here in the Astell Kern booth, I'm talking with Owen Kwan, president of iRiver, makers of the Astell Kern portable high-resolution audio players. Owen, what are you highlighting here at CE Week?
We're very excited about the new introduction of entry-level version, the youngest sibling device of Astell Kern. AK Junior is just debuting in the market, and yet at the same time, we are also introducing the new flagship model, AK 380.
Wow, so both ends of the line that Astell Kern makes have now gotten new members.
Exactly. Now our spectrum of the product offerings are even broader, so that we can serve from the very serious audiophiles and pro audio guys, but also we have a more affordable version of a unit ready for the mass market.
And the more affordable version, well, what distinguishes the two, I guess would be the question to ask.
Mostly it is about the features and how it sounds and the portability too. So AK Junior comes with the basic DAC, Wolfson DAC, and the built-in amplifier, and that is designed for playing back the music. Yet a 380 is coming with all different bells and whistles about playing back different file types, native DSD up to the double layers, DLNA compatible, so it sees automatically to all of your music library on your home networks, so that you can pull out any music over the Wi-Fi network, yet without cutting corners of the sound by processing it through the DAC and an amplifier built into it. So truly 380 is a new network enabled portable player.
And so the AK Junior does not have that network capability, but it still has the high quality audio playback, I assume.
Exactly. It comes in a very small package, but the sound quality is very decent when you compare it to other smart devices or other computer music options. Yet it is coming with a very slim form factor and very light, so that you can carry it around and listen to the music wherever you want.
And what are the price points of these two new products?
AK380 is retailed at $3,500, and then AK Junior is $500.
Sounds great, and I'm sure it sounds great. Thanks so much for talking with us. Here in the Sony booth, I'm talking with Aaron Levine, product manager at Sony. And Aaron, some new high-res audio products coming out, and Sony's big in high-res audio to begin with, right?
Yeah, we've been focusing on high-res audio, making sure that we give consumers the best listening experience possible with digital music. And so what we're doing here is kind of just showing a sampling of our high-res product offerings. And we also brought with us the new ST9, and so that's our new high-res soundbar that's going to be shipping next month.
A high-res soundbar, how do you get that?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, it does all the home theater stuff, in 7.1 channels, to the best of its capability for a fantastic home theater experience. But what we also did is we focused, on our high-res initiative to be able to support, high-res files up to DSD quality. And so we spent a lot of time looking at the two-channel sound of the product. And so we worked on a new speaker design, or a new old speaker design, and we looked at a coaxial design, so be able to take that upper end extension when it came to the two-channel to be able to support high-resolution audio appropriately.
And you do that by, you have a USB input, I think?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a USB input, not only on the ST9, but also on the NT3, also a high-res soundbar. You take a thumb drive, stick it in the side of it, see the USB, start playing.
And another unique feature that you told me offline was Bluetooth output. Why a Bluetooth output?
Absolutely. So there's a couple reasons. One, we know that consumers, have soundbars in their, not just in their living room, but in their bedroom. And we also know that a lot of consumers are watching, or using these products with other people living in the house. And so if you're like me and you've got kids and a wife and they tend to go to bed earlier than I do, and you still want to enjoy, whether it's watching a movie, listening to music, or video games, you just turn on the transmission function, throw on your Bluetooth headphones, and you get to still experience everything that's connected to the soundbar, just like you normally would, but you get to shut down the speakers and listen to them privately in the Bluetooth headphone without disturbing the family. And then on top of that, we also added Google Cast for audio in the product, so you have the ability to stream a ton of content that's available on the Google platform, as well as Bluetooth reception. So you get the best of multiple worlds, depending on how you want to consume content.
Wow. Now, you said this is coming out in...
Next month.
Next month. And what will it list for?
So $1,500.
So that's on the high end of a soundbar, but you're getting more than most soundbars.
Absolutely. And then we also have a baby brother to it, the NT3, which retails for $800. And so it's a 2.1 channel bar, but also supports the same core basics, so high resolution audio, the Bluetooth transmission as well as reception, and then the Google Cast for audio platform.
And the difference here is that this one simulates 7.1 by using DSP or whatever?
Not only that, but we also have discrete amplification across all 7 channels, and so we're simulating, but we're also controlling each one of the channels independently.
Also here in the booth, we have a couple of headphones, a couple of portable players. Those aren't new, but you're showing off high-res capabilities.
Correct. They're not new, but we're showing our breadth of product offerings when it comes to a high-resolution audio. And so on display, we have our X2 high-res Walkman, as well as our Z7 with our Kimber Kable connected to it. And then over here, you've got the A17 along with the 1A's headphones as well. So again, giving a nice representation across several product categories to show our support for high-resolution audio.
Now, you also mentioned to me, and I know I'm going to talk to someone else about this in more detail, but the initiative to get into Magnolia Design Centers and allow people to experience high-res, which I've always said is the most important thing. You can talk about it till you're blue in the face, but until people really experience it, they don't really get it.
Yeah, absolutely, and consumers need a location to be able to have that experience. So we worked quite extensively with the Magnolia Design Center and the Best Buy stores to be able to support a listening experience. And so coming out here in the second half of the year, you're going to see a listening station that's also supported by the music labels. So Sony Music, Warner, and Universal are providing content to be able to hear. So you have the latest and greatest of what they're offering not only on Sony's X2 and A17 that'll be there, but also on a few other manufacturers that are supporting the initiative as well. So it's going to be really cool to be able to go into their locations and be able to experience high-res in person. It's a really cool functionality, and their associates are going to be well trained to be able to talk to consumers about the value of what high resolution audio is. And on top of that, we're also going to be showcasing the ST9 in the MDC areas in high resolution, as well as our now very famous HAP Z1 ES high resolution file player, which started it all for us.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Thanks for having me. It's good seeing you again, Scott.
Here in the DCS booth, I'm talking with John Quick, General Manager. Now, John, I've known DCS for a long time as a pro audio brand and also super high-end consumer brand. What brings you to CE Week?
So we're here primarily as one of the first companies to create the first commercially viable professional products back in 1987. So for us, high-res audio has been around for a long time, but it's really not until recently that it's become a more broad consumer concern. So we're really here to support the initiative, we're here to support the music industry, and we're certainly here to support what we do now, which is try to produce, whether it's standard resolution or high resolution audio, our customers expect the best, and that's what we try to deliver.
Based in England, I believe, right?
Yes, yeah, so nearly 30-year-old company now. Started in Cambridge, UK as a consultancy. First 10 years were all pro audio. 1996 we launched our first consumer product, and we're in our third generation now of consumer products. So what we have here on display is a Vivaldi, which is our reference product. Our Rossini is a brand new trickle down from Vivaldi, so it's a more affordable product, still expensive, but more affordable.
Now the Vivaldi and the Rossini, you name them after composers, which is great. They are DACs, players. What exactly is the functionality here?
So they're streaming DACs. So in the case of Vivaldi, it's a 4-piece system. There's a separate disc transport. So we support however you get you own your digital music, or if you stream your digital music, we aim to support that. So be it CDs or SACDs, be it standard resolution files ripped to a NAS drive, files on your computer. And now new in the Rossini and soon to be in the Vivaldi range, we'll actually directly support through an app we developed, support for Tidal, Spotify, internet radio, and Deezer, and possibly others depending on customer interest.
Now, I think I read somewhere that your DACs go up to 384/32. I mean, that's super high resolution. What is your feeling philosophically? I mean, obviously you think it's worth it, it's valuable, but how many people can actually hear that?
Well, to be honest, I mean, the difference between standard high resolution audio, which is defined as 24 bits, I believe most people, actually everyone, can hear a difference between compressed music and standard resolution music, okay? So that's where the bar starts. And for people that assemble a really nice system or have the best portable devices, you can absolutely hear a difference between the standard, the entry level to high res, which would really be 24 bits and 44, 48 kilohertz. And the difference between that and 2496, 176, or higher resolutions, it's really going to be determined by the rest of the supporting equipment, you know. So we aim to produce products that, in the context of the right system, will make it readily just obvious. So
I've noticed that. I conducted a poll on AVS where I asked people, I gave them blind files. One was 44:116, one was 2496 of the same material, disguised, and I said, which is which, and what system are you playing it on? And of those who did not have high-res capable systems, the correct hit rate was about 50%. Of those who did have high-res capable systems, the correct hit rate was 80%.
That's encouraging. Yeah. So we like to take that for granted because most of our customers, they love music, they invest in quality, and we deliver it, you know. So, but we like to think the general population actually wants to hear what the artist intended, you know. So that's really a big part of why we're here. It's a big part of the reason we're in business. So, you know, we want to offer the best, and we want everyone to experience music the way that it fulfills you, and it, you know, fulfills your soul. So.
Now, I'm a little afraid to ask this, but I will anyway. What are the list prices on these products?
So, we stopped doing professional products in 2005, and we turned strictly to the consumer side of the market. So our products have never been inexpensive, and we decided to sort of target at the beginning. And not to say in the future we won't do more affordable products, but we're targeting the top of the market. So the Vivaldi system is our flagship. It's 4 boxes. You don't need all of them. But in the context of a full system, it's $108,000 and change. The new Rossini is a trickle down. You're effectively getting the functionality and a lot of the performance of our Vivaldi system in one box. So we have a network connection, we have USB, traditional inputs. It uses the same ring DAC, which is our own discrete DA converter, in this box, and it's $22,500, which again is not inexpensive, but
a lot less than 108.
It's a lot less than 108, yeah. And
does it have a disk drive in it?
There's another model that's a little bit more money that does have a disk drive in it. So there's a Rossini DAC for $22,500, and there's a player for $27,000 that it has all the other same capabilities. Yeah, and our entry-level DAC is called Debussy. It's just a tick above $11,000. So again, not inexpensive, but that's kind of where we are right now as a company.
Well, addressing the high end, obviously there are people there who are going to spend that kind of money, and they can expect some pretty superb performance, I think, for their money.
Absolutely, and the other thing we like to deliver is long-term value. So the other point I'll make about digital in general, and sometimes people are afraid to spend real money on digital, and not even on our level, is just people are afraid that things are always changing. So one of the things since the very beginning, starting in like 1989, we started using a device called an FPGA, which is a blank sea of logic that can be reprogrammed. And our product life cycles are very long for a company that does products at this level. Relatively 6 to 8 years is the general term that we run our product life cycles. But throughout the product's life, we do 3 or 4 major upgrades, which is generally just software. And the performance, we can add features, improve the performance. So that's the promise we make to our customers, is that while nothing can be perfectly future-proof or perfectly upgradable forever, we do the best we can to make products that have long-standing value and keep themselves right at the cutting edge of the best available.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Scott.
I'm talking with Mark Feiner, Senior Director of the Digital Entertainment Group, or DEGG. And Mark, you're here basically to promote high-res audio, which is a huge thing here at CE Week.
Well, thank you, Scott, and we are. It's one of our key initiatives of the DEGG, along with what work we do on 4K ultra high definition. But in the case of high-res, we're using CE Week to focus on some key initiatives that are helping to take the message of high-res to a broader audience.
And what message would that be?
Well, as I've been saying in our panel discussions with members of our panel, we're talking about 3 key points that are important to address. The first is the engagement issue, and making certain that the wide variety of devices and content that are available for consumers in high res is well known. And given that fact, we're in the midst of an area of the floor where there are 4 different manufacturers displaying and demonstrating a variety of products and music. There's also nearly a dozen music services who are currently licensed for high-res downloads, and streaming is coming as well. The second initiative is education. And last year at this very show, we announced that we are going to be working from the DEG, the Consumer Electronics Association, and the Recording Academy's perspective on definitions to clarify what high-res audio is. The first announcement was a logo mark that clarifies the definition of high-res audio devices. And that logo is now featured on nearly 24 products from a variety of manufacturers across the industry. At this show, was just announced yesterday by the Recording Industry Association in cooperation with the 3 major music companies that a high-res music logo mark will also be available.
Excellent. This is really good news, because you can have a high-res audio product, hardware, but unless you have the high-res and you know it's high-res audio content coming in, how do you know what you're getting?
Exactly, Scott, and that's compounded in terms of a challenge when you consider that there's a variety of music files online. Some of the high-res sites, in fact, offer recordings that are not truly high-res because it's the best available master that they have access to. So this way, any recording of any genre that's being licensed by the major music companies that's better than CD quality, regardless of what file format it supports, and qualifies for high-res, will have this high-res music mark beginning later this summer.
Fantastic. And so what was the third initiative?
The third is probably the most important. We can educate and we can engage, but unless we get ways for people to experience the quality of high-res music, it's all for naught.
I was just talking with Aaron Levine from Sony a little bit about this. I think what you're going to talk about is the Magnolia deal.
Absolutely, and we're very proud to announce, and working in cooperation with Magnolia and the Best Buy organization, Sony Electronics, and all three major music companies.
Those being?
Warner Music Group, Universal Music Group, and Sony Music Entertainment. They will all be collaborating to install more than 70 high-res music listening stations in Magnolia locations across the country beginning this fall.
Well, I think this is so important because, as I said to Aaron, we can talk about it all we want, but you really have to experience it to know how much better it can be. And so having a place to go to experience it, I assume both on headphones and in a reasonable listening environment on speakers, so important.
Absolutely, Scott. Magnolia's Design Center is an area that features not just stations but listening rooms, unlike the rest of Best Buy. So we can do that, and in cooperation with the digital retailers who the music labels license, we can even drive consumers to those sites where they can purchase these high-res files. So it's a total turnkey solution led by Magnolia and their organization.
So when can people go to a Magnolia and actually hear this?
Well, the first stores will be open beginning late August in Los Angeles and Minneapolis. Actually, they're open, but they will be retrofitted by that point for these new displays. And the rest of the organization, that rollout will commence and continue through October and the fall.
I guess Minneapolis because that's where Best Buy is based, right?
They have something to do with that market, last time I checked. Yes, Scott.
And Los Angeles, I assume New York will come online pretty soon.
Well, not just Los Angeles and potential New York, but even Nashville are also key centers for the music industry. So what's envisioned by the Magnolia management working with this group is to use these stores as destinations, not just for listening, but learning more about high-res music, and making them launch events and other types of events in the major markets, which makes sense for the music labels.
Well, I look forward to that very much. I'm in Los Angeles myself, so send me an invite when that opens up, and I'll certainly be there to cover it.
Scott, we'll be glad to have you.
Before we continue our strolling through the show floor at CE Week, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor for this episode, which is Casper. Now, Casper is an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the cost. Casper is revolutionizing the mattress industry by cutting the cost of dealing with resellers and showrooms and passing that savings directly to the consumer. Casper's mattress is an obsessively engineered mattress at a fair price. Two technologies, latex and memory foam, come together for better nights and brighter days. It's a comfortable mattress that has just the right sink and bounce. A Casper mattress provides long-lasting comfort and support. In fact, a friend of mine here at CE Week told me that he got a Casper mattress, and he loves it. He's getting a good night's sleep with no back pain for the first time in years. You can easily buy the Casper mattress online and completely risk-free. Casper understands the importance of trying out a mattress, so try sleeping on a Casper mattress today. Casper offers free delivery and painless returns within a 100-day period, so you don't have to lie down in a showroom. And did you know, statistically, lying on a bed in a showroom has no correlation to whether it's the right bed for you? Even better, Casper mattresses are made in the USA. Get a Casper mattress, $500 for a twin or $950 for a king size. Compared to industry averages, that's an outstanding price. And you can save an additional $50 as one of our audience members by going to casper.com/HTG and entering the promo code HTG. That's casper.com/HTG and enter the promo code HTG. I'm here in the Epson room, a true black hole, difficult to shoot video in, but very good for showing projectors. I'm talking with Jason Palmer, Senior Marketing Manager at Epson, and the LS10000 laser phosphor projector is here, being shown and looking beautiful, and now in wider distribution, I understand.
Yes, so we released this or announced it at CEDIA last year. Got rave reviews, top awards at CEDIA, at CES. And now we are producing more of them, so they're going to be more readily available to people. It's been for a while. It was a quite a battle for people to get a hold of one. So yeah, it's a beautiful projector. Again, it's a laser light source solid state projector. It's a reflective LCD projector. It's the first one of our products that is reflective. It's actually liquid crystalline quartz, not liquid crystalline silicon. So it's a little bit of our own proprietary technology. But it's really the combination of all the things that make it so impressive. It's the combination of laser. The LS10000 is 4K enhancement. Again, reflective LCD, which allows the combination of those things allow for infinite contrast ratio, basically what we call absolute black. And it really is just an amazingly solid picture. We produce this product in Japan. So we're a Japanese company, obviously, but this product is exclusively produced in Japan, and so for a while it was hard to get a good a quantity of units out there. But now we've increased that capacity, so it is going to be available for all the AVSers and larger quantities.
That's fantastic. Now, in terms of infinite black, I mean, certainly one of the ways you can do that is that you can control the laser so instantaneously, essentially, right? To just get down to black when it needs to.
That's right. So, we use in our 3 LCD projectors, we have an auto iris function that allows us to control the amount of light output, and it gives you very, very strong contrast ratio, deep black levels, and so forth. In this case, we have such an incredible control over that laser, instantaneous control, so we can get to absolute black, literally zero light instantaneously. And that gives I have to see it to believe it, but it allows for anybody who can actually see a demonstration of this, an incredible picture. And so that's really what makes it really particularly exciting. And the other thing that does, by the way, laser having that control offers a lot of features that we don't talk about in terms of picture quality, but I think add to the experience. So for example, it's pretty much instant on-off. So a lot of projectors take some time to fire up and get to full brightness. The laser is really just a sort of plug-and-play experience. So it's got a lot of ways in which it's great. It's also very quiet. It's the quietest projector we've ever produced.
Now, in terms of 4K enhanced, remind us what that is. I mean, we talked about this before, and it's a known technology, but love to just remind everybody what that's about.
Well, so we have a 4K enhancement feature, which is a variety of processing features in addition to basically a pixel shift technology that allows it to get beyond 1080p. The product can output 4K, a 4K signal, and it also
can accept a 4K signal.
Right, it can accept and output that and produce a 4K signal. Some projectors, I believe, can't do that. Right. And then it can take 1080p content and obviously convert that beyond 1080p. Yeah.
And the list price on it?
$79.99.
What I would call $8,000.
$8,000. Who cares at that price, right?
Well, I mean, no one would really care, but for a laser projector that is upconverting, doing a sort of a 4K enhancement anyway, a pixel shifting kind of thing, that's a remarkable price.
Yeah, I mean, for the features that you get, and I didn't mention a lot of features. One good example is intelligent lens memory. So it has 10 preset positions to allow you to go from 16:9 to 235 to 240, etc. So there's a lot I didn't mention, but for the feature set that this product has, even a few years ago, I think that price point was laughable. I mean, it would have been twice as expensive. So we've really tried to hit a high value, high feature, quotient, and I think we've done that with the projector, absolutely.
And its little sibling, the LS9600E, just now coming out on the market.
Yeah, so that one was very constrained in terms of inventory, a lot of demand and not as much supply, but we've sort of level set that as well. So that one's shipping now too. Similar product in terms of the laser feature, reflective 3 LCD. The difference there is it does not have the 4K enhancement feature, and it does have a wireless feature, which makes it a little bit easier to install in difficult rooms.
Also in the Epson room, I'm talking with Nick Gavalis, a partner at New York Marketing, and you have supplied the electronics, the speakers, and the screen to support the Epson projector.
That's correct. We represent the various brands, the screen brand, Vivotek screens, Totem speakers, and Integra to complement the Epson projector.
And you've created actually a full home theater in here. Is it a 5.1, 7.1?
It's a 5.1 system.
And in a room this small, that's perfectly adequate, it seems to me.
Absolutely.
Now, so tell us let's start with the electronics. What are we looking at in terms of the pre-pro or the power amp, whatever?
So the electronics we're using today is the Integra DTR 50.6. It's there. Second from the top of the line. What it does offer is it offers a lot of power. It is both HDMI 2.0 and HDCP 2.2 that allows the 4K to connect to the projector. The Blu-ray player is 1080, and that's it. Everything's connected through it, and works.
We also see the Sony FMP X10. Is it the 4K server?
Yeah, that's the only one. Of course, that's the only 4K server out there. So, like everybody else, we have to use it.
Right. Okay, so we've got the Integra Blu-ray player, an AVR, Sony server, 4K server. Tell us a little bit about the screen.
So the screen is a Vivotek ViewEasy screen. It's their bright white material, which is a 1.3 gain. The material is capable of handling the higher resolution. So it is a 4K screen, but it will handle the higher resolutions with no problem, no resolving issues, no funky stuff going on with the screen. So it works very well.
Is it? I don't imagine it's acoustically transparent. It doesn't need to be in this environment.
That is not, but of course Vivotek does offer acoustically transparent screens if the job calls for it, but they are a unity gain screen, or actually a 0.9 gain. There's a 1.3 gain.
And how big is it? Do you know the size of the screen?
Sure, it's 103-inch diagonal.
Nice size. How about the speakers? Tell us about the Totem speakers.
So Totem's been around about 35 years. They're very well known as far as both tower, bookshelves, and now they have a great set of custom in-wall speakers. So I'm showing a variety of speakers. The speakers in the front are the Tribe 3s. They're designed to be an on-wall speaker. Most people aren't making on-wall speakers, but Totem really did a great job with them. They sound great. They are designed to mount on the wall to give you a left, center, right, to wrap around a screen or a display. The center channel and the surrounds are in-wall, actually. They're a closed-back in-wall, but Totem's technology is phase coherency, so they really sound great. One of the things we're demonstrating is how good they sound even out of the wall. So when you put them in the wall, they couple with the wall and they give you a much wider plane. And Totem does a lot of work with crossovers. Vince is he's a great designer, great speaker builder, but really the magic comes from the crossovers. And the tribes up front use a driver that's built by Totem in Canada. They actually make it themselves, and there's no crossover in the woofer. It gets all the current and all the voltage from the amplifier. The only crossover in the whole cabinet on the front speakers is for the tweeter. So it's a magic sounding speaker.
So, but I mean, the high frequencies must be directed away from the woofer. That's what the crossover's doing.
So, well, the crossover. No, the woofer rolls off on its own. Vince designed it that way. So the only crossover. There's no coils. The only crossover is for the tweeter.
So the woofer's getting the entire full range signal. It's just naturally rolling off by itself.
That's exactly right.
That's kind of cool.
It is very cool, and it gives it that special Totem sound. And the subwoofer we have actually is a 4-inch deep in-room sub that we have under the couch, just to show different applications, different ways of mounting. It doesn't have to be in a corner woofer under the couch. It fills the whole room great.
Might even give you a little tactile sensation.
It does. That's for sure.
I'm in the Onkyo room talking with Brian Sandifer, product manager at Onkyo, and you got a couple of product introductions here at CE Week.
Indeed, we do. So we've got 3 new primary product launches we're doing here at CE Week: 2 AV receivers, surround receivers, and 1 stereo receiver.
They still make stereo receivers?
Still do, yes. In fact, behind we've got also our turntable, which has made a big comeback as well. So we've got something to tie into that. But certainly now it's stereo receiver with a lot of new functionality to it.
Well, tell us first about the surround receivers.
Okay, sure. The newest ones, it's called our TX-RZ series. It's our reference type series product. So with that, we're including all the latest HDMI connectivity that we have in our lower end models with HDCP 2.2, HDMI 2.0A, 4K 60 and 444 color space, but we're adding our more reference-grade audio componentry to it. So nuances and details, more anti-resonant design. So we have aluminum faceplates, extruded aluminum heat sinks, better grade parts internally, better grade storage capacitors, new digital analog circuitry called VLSC to get us a better analog waveform out of that digital signal. So lots of little tweaks we're doing to really focus more on the audio side of things with these new products.
And another aspect here that's big at CE Week is high-res audio, and I'm sure you're supporting that as well.
Oh, correct. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we actually support virtually every type of high-res audio format, more than any other manufacturer that I'm aware of. So essentially anything you can throw at our receiver, high-res, or of course compressed MP3, we can handle that just fine. We can stream that from a home network. You can push it from a phone. You can plug it in via USB. So we want to make sure, you know, as that high-res revolution, if you will, is taking place, we want to make sure we're not a bottleneck to that whole process.
Right. And of course, you introduced Dolby Atmos here last year at this very show, so I'm sure it's in there as well. And I think DTSX also.
Correct. So Dolby Atmos on virtually all the new products, including of course the RZ series. DTSX will be coming again to virtually all the new receivers. That'll be a firmware update later this year. We're just waiting on the green light from DTS to go forward with that. But yes, that's fully in the plan, and we look very forward to that. So yes.
So how about the stereo receiver? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So the stereo receiver, of course, old school stereo, if you will, but with new school tricks. So it has Wi-Fi built in, wired networking as well, Bluetooth built in. We have our own control app to be able to control that as well. Spotify Connect, Pandora, SiriusXM, you know, lots of different streaming services built into a nice 2-channel chassis, and including a phono input. So now you can plug that nice new turntable in, get a nice audio signal from that as well. So yes.
What about shipping and pricing?
Pricing varies on the new models. The RZ series, the RZ 800 is $12.99 MSRP. The RZ 900 is the step up from that is $15.99 MSRP, and the stereo receiver is $4.99 MSRP. Those all three will be shipping in August, so very soon. The rest of the line is shipping either now or within the next couple of weeks. So.
You mentioned certainly the resurgence of vinyl, which we know, and Onkyo actually has a turntable that came out a couple months ago.
We do, yes. It's right behind us as well, the CP150. Seen a nice uptick in sales of that, in vinyl in general, so that's really exciting. You know, getting the millennials especially, but also the older generation who've known vinyl forever, and getting more of that evolution into vinyl, and letting people kind of relax and actually listen to audio and get the nuances and the details out of their system.
Now you have a Atmos system in here that you're doing a demo of, but we also see some speakers here that look pretty retro. What's going on with those?
That's correct. So these speakers have been in design for the last 25 years or so in Japan. And, you know, again, as maybe part of that whole resurgence in vinyl, you know, getting that, not only that old school look, but also that different type of sound that we haven't had in a while. And just, so we're still trying to figure out how exactly we're going to bring these into the market space, and how, you know, how they're going to get through distribution and everything. But that's another, you know, big piece of what we're doing. So yes, we're looking forward to that.
Here in the Seiki booth, I'm talking with Eddie Tsu, Technical Product Manager. And Eddie, you got something new here at the show, don't you?
Yeah, we have the 4K, our 4K OTT line. It has Netflix 4K. It has Pandora, Vudu, YouTube, AccuWeather, and Tune goggles. Yeah.
And all of those are 4K?
No, only Netflix 4K. The rest are 10, because AccuWeather, Vudu, those are not in 4K yet.
Okay. Yeah. I understand. So what are the other highlights of this TV?
HDMI 2.0, HDCP 2.2. There's three HDMI ports. All of them are 2.0 and HDCP 2.2. Yeah. And it has both Wi-Fi and Ethernet for the smart capabilities.
Sounds great. Is it available now?
It's coming soon. It's going to be available from 42-inch to 55-inch. Yeah.
And what's the price point?
It's going to be competitive. It's going to be probably lower than our competitors. I don't have exact numbers yet, yeah, but it's going to be competitive.
And when will we see it in the market?
Shortly, soon. We'll see it probably Amazon, Amazon.com, and possibly Tiger Direct. Yeah.
So you're selling internet direct, not through retailers?
We have retail channels, but I'm not sure they'll be selling this specific model. There's Sears and Kmart do carry Seiki products, but I'm not sure this one will be going to that channel. Yeah.
Last year when I was here, we saw the little cable, you know, the U-Vision cable. How's that going?
We're selling them on Amazon because with that cable, it was basically it takes a 1080p signal upconverts 4K, but it only takes really a 1080p 24, 30 hertz signal and upconvert. So a lot of people with 60 hertz aren't able to upconvert, and they become upset of that. But actually, it says on the box. Yeah.
Now, how's the upscaler in this one for 1080p?
It's good. It's the solution is pretty good. Yeah.
Great. Well, I appreciate it. It's Seiki represents a really good value here, so I'm glad to see that you guys are continuing to improve and make new product and follow the trend that is obviously going to be here to stay. Here in the Monster booth, I'm talking with Eric Kiner, product manager. And Eric, some new speaker products here at CE Week, huh?
Yes, we have both our portable Bluetooth, the Monster Backfloat speaker, as well as our Soundstage or Wi-Fi wireless multi-room speakers.
Wow, so this Backfloat, from what I can see, it's actually wet, and I see a little pool over here. You're actually dropping it in the water, are you?
Right, so it's a super durable, rugged speaker designed to go anywhere. It also floats. So it's a fantastic speaker to take anywhere things might get wet, and just for general use as a rugged outdoor speaker.
And you also have a little pocket version of it.
That's right. That's the Superstar. It's what we call Backfloat's little brother. So it sounds fantastic. They both have speakerphone, and the Backfloat will float on the water, and the Superstar fits on your pocket. They're also both super durable, so they have this silicone shell that makes them very rugged for any type of application. So.
Now, this multi-room speaker system looks very intriguing. Tell us about that.
Right, so this is our new product, Soundstage, just recently released and selling in Best Buy today. So it's all about the performance with Soundstage. It supports both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as the wireless component of the performance. So, one, Bluetooth is easy connectivity right out of the box, which is convenient for anyone. Also, with the Wi-Fi ability, we're able to connect multiple speakers throughout the home directly to the router. And the Bluetooth is actually able to work together, so you can connect to one via Bluetooth and distribute that audio over Wi-Fi to all the speakers on the network.
That's extremely cool. So you have your phone, you're sending Bluetooth to audio to one of them, and then it's distributing the rest of it by Wi-Fi.
By Wi-Fi, that's right. So the benefit to the user is that you can stream anything. Almost any content from your mobile device will output through Bluetooth. So it's really exciting. You can also access music on your device. Multiple devices on the network can actually build collaborative playlists together on the Soundstage app. So you have a song you want to play, I have a song I want to play. We can both play our songs together. So there's a lot of connectivity solutions there on the app as well. When it comes to music services, those that are AllPlay integrated actually give you the capability to initiate streams directly from the cloud to the speakers. So if you walk away from the wireless network, that you can use the native user interface of that service and completely walk away from the wireless network because it's connected directly to the speaker from the cloud of that music service. But if it's not AllPlay integrated, you always have Bluetooth. So there's a growing number of services. We currently support Spotify Connect, Rhapsody, Napster, soon to onboard companies like Tidal as well as SoundCloud will be supporting AllPlay. But we have a very open solution via Bluetooth to go multi-room too. With the Soundstage, we also have an incredible design. If you look at other systems out there, they're kind of boxy. They don't look that interesting. Ours has a really slim profile. It's very sleek. It looks nice. Fits blends into almost any decor.
I also see you got, like, I guess, a subwoofer of sorts on the back of the speaker.
That's right. Yeah, and you can see the subwoofer on the back. So the models that are designed for the larger rooms have the active woofers that'll provide more bass to fill the larger space in bigger rooms in the home. More on the connectivity options. So we talked about Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. We also have NFC for simple Bluetooth pairing. We have an analog input, and unlike other systems, we have digital fiber optic connection that is zero latency connected to any kind of home theater component, so you get perfect lip synchronization off of that. Another thing that's very important that we're doing on the audio performance side is we support lossless audio up to 24-bit 192 kilohertz that is not downsampled through any part of the signal chain to the point that it gets to the amplifier.
That's amazing. So these things are actually high-res audio capable.
Truly high-resolution audio capable. So if you have music on network-attached storage that's high-resolution, say you've got it from HD Tracks or you've ripped some high-resolution tracks of your own, you can stream those over your wireless network connected directly to your Wi-Fi router. So yeah, it's a very simple to use solution. You can onboard it to your network with your mobile device, but it also supports WPS. So if you're comfortable with activating WPS mode on a router, it's a 2-button push process to hit the WPS button, activate that, and then hit the WPS button on the speaker to onboard it and get it on your network.
That's very impressive, and you've garnered the Best of Show award here at CE Week.
Yeah, and it's something the Monster family is very proud of. So, and many people have worked hard on these projects to make it happen. So it's great to have all that hard work pay off and be rewarded in some way.
And what are the price points here?
So MSRP, we got $249, $349, and $449. So the feature set's very common amongst the speakers, but as you move up in price point, you get better performance, deeper bass, overall more power to fill the larger room with space. So it just depends on the size of room, which speaker you might choose.
And what about these little guys here?
Right. So this is $119 MSRP, and this is $169.95 MSRP.
Here in the Auro room, I'm talking with Tina Rekers, the marketing manager here at Auro, and I'd like to know what you're highlighting here at the show.
Well, as usually, we're doing continuous Auro 3D demos. It has a 9.1 speaker layout, Auro 9.1 that is, and we're showing movie content, music content, the likes, explaining the format for those who don't know it. We're highlighting the AV range, of which the Crux has won a Best in Show award this show, so that's really good. Yeah. We also have the mobile demos on display, so it's Auro 2D over headphones. It's pretty amazing, and it's bound to be integrated into devices, so people can have a first listen to it already. And then finally, Ozark Henry, it's a Belgian artist who has recently released an album in Auro 3D worldwide. Will be speaking about his experiences in content creation, specifically in Auro 2D. About how it actually changed his way to not only experience but create music, and he'll be showcasing that specific experience plus the album itself tomorrow.
Now, is that album on CD, Blu-ray? How is it being released?
As Auro 3D is always released on Blu-ray, this time it's also on Blu-ray, specifically a pure audio Blu-ray.
Pure audio Blu-ray, which means not necessarily much video content, strictly audio.
Exactly, but believe me, the audio is pretty amazing. You don't need the video.
Yes, no, I agree. I've listened to a number of Auro tracks, in particular the Magnificat on the 2L label, which is so gorgeous.
Brilliant. Specifically the Magnificat, as you mentioned, it still brings me to tears. Morten is a brilliant audio engineer, and he always does amazing work in Auro, has released many albums already in the format, and he's an amazing supporter, so it's brilliant.
Yeah. What about movie titles? Are we going to see more of them? There aren't very many movie titles yet released in Auro, but I hope to see more soon.
Absolutely. More than 35 post-production studios worldwide have Auro 3D installed, the studio system that is, to mix it. We're working very hard to secure this movie content. Red Tails is already out, and it has good reviews from consumers as well. And there's already a lot of music out there in the market. And besides the Blu-ray specifically released in the format, you can also use the Auro upmixing engine, Auromatic upmixing engine that is, which actually transforms all your existing content, whether it be stereo or mono or surround, into a real Auro 3D experience.
Which is similar to how 4K TVs work these days, with 1080p content, upscaling that, much the same here with the audio.
Yeah, exactly. It's a brilliant algorithm that will just makes it just 3D, Auro 3D.
I look forward to hearing the headphone implementation as well, because hearing 3D around in a headphone seems difficult to do probably, but a natural thing to be walking down the street or whatever. Has anybody at Auro thought about implementing this in a car system, like with speakers overhead in a car?
Well, actually, the aim of Auro is to have 3D audio, immersive 3D audio, like everywhere on the move, on the mobile, as you say. So either it's integrated into your mobile device or into your headphones, but also into cars. And the first cars will be coming out in a short while, actually. There's a few car manufacturers that have or will integrate it, and yeah, that's bound to happen.
I'm now talking with Hyung Lim, founder of 4SE TV, which I had never heard of before. What does your company do?
So we make a little consumer device that really trying to enhance a TV experience. So the company name 4SE TV stands for 4-screen enhanced television. We're using 4 screens to enhance the TV experience.
A fourth screen? What do you mean by that?
A 4 screen. So I have a little device right here that's a little hardware that captures over-the-air content right now, that I can capture up to 4 HD signals, and then I can display it on a single screen, whether it's an iOS or Android devices or any smartphones or a big screen TV.
It seems a perfect application for 4K TVs to be able to display 4 1080p different sources on the screen at once.
Yeah, so everything but we are actually maxing out at full HD qualities right now. But really, the idea is there's a lot of good broadcasted content available, and we just don't have enough time to watch all the content. So now you already have a big screen TV, and you can have that experience at home. So instead of going to a sports bar, you can have the sports bar TV experience in your living room because you already own most of the expensive equipment already. Yeah, but I think another very good usage case that we envision is having 4 channels on your iPad. That not necessarily for you to watch it all the time, but being able to use that information for your channel flipping. So when you're watching your NFL game, obviously there are 100 million people out there in the US alone watching NFL games today. And a lot of that, there's a great game, a lot of, fun and interactions, but there are a lot of interruptions, right? So there's a lot of commercials and play reviews and all that. So I know what I do. I grab remote controls. As soon as the commercial goes on, I flip channels and I flip channels, and I flip it back, and I find out that there was a big interception or a big touchdown, and I missed it, right? And it's a shame for me, and I hate myself doing so, and I know my wife hates me more because I did that, right? So now with an iPad, having 4 channels, one of them could be NFL and 3 other things that are going on. As soon as that game goes to commercial, I glimpse at it, I know which channel to go to, and I know exactly when I have to come back.
Because you're watching a little monitor of the football game, you know when the commercials are over and, time to go back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's exactly like, the same concept as the big studios are using. They have multiple cameras going on. The guy's sitting in the back, that he watches all this different content, so he knows which content needs to go on the main screen. So instead of having, 10, 20 screens and being able to do that all that professionally, you could use your iPad that you already have, and then have 4, which is still a very good number of content, and then you can control your whole, entertainment, right? So I think that, makes your $2,000, $3,000 equipment that you already bought doing so much work, so much better for you at a very small additional cost.
And how much is this little box?
So we're retailing at $179. Yeah, we just, finished our Kickstarter, and we are scheduled to ship on August 15th. So we're taking additional pre-orders on our website right now. Yeah, but we're scheduled to ship on August 15th and then ship from the stocks after that.
Is it only available online, or will you be shipping or selling through dealers?
So we're taking really slow. So our first step was going through a crowdfunding site, Kickstarter, get enough customers, and being able to taste our Envision and hardware and all that, and being able to fine-tune our product. And then once we get to the next phase, which we'll be doing more online sales and maybe eventually a brick and mortar sales.
Here at TiVo, I'm talking with Mark Crandell, Vice President of Sales. And Mark, what are you highlighting at CE Week?
Well, we're highlighting the Romeo line of TiVo products. Rounding out that Romeo line is our new TiVo OTA. OTA stands for over the air, and it's really capturing the imagination of all the cord cutting that's going on right now.
Which there's a lot of that going on these days.
In the millions right now, yes, yes. So hook an antenna up to this device. Allows you to still record your favorite shows, but also enjoy all the over-the-top content, Netflix, Hulu, even some music, Pandora, Spotify. We just added an iHeartRadio app, so we've rounded out basically everything you want to watch is available on TiVo.
Fantastic. The other thing here that I see on your table is the TiVo Mini. What's that?
Oh yeah, that's right. So we have the Mini here, and what this little device does is it allows you to extend the TiVo experience, that great DVR experience that you have in your main TV. You add one of these to every room or every TV in your house, and you can extend that experience to that room as well. No monthly fee.
And can each TV have something different on it? Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's right. So let's say you have a 6-tuner TiVo device. You could watch or record 6 live broadcasts at once, have Netflix going in one room, have Hulu going in another room, and the kids listening to Pandora in the basement.
And the Romeo OTA, how's that? How many tuners does that have?
The OTA has 4 tuners, just like our entry-level Romeo product. It also has 4. And then we have 2 step-up products, the Plus and the Pro. Those each have 6.
And what kind of price point are we talking about?
So the OTA product starts at $49.99. The cable Romeo is $199. And then the Plus and the Pro jump up to $399 or $599, depending on how much storage you're looking for.
And the Mini?
The Mini, thank you, is $149. Like I said, there's no monthly fee.
And what is the monthly fee on the big TiVo boxes?
TiVo monthly fee starts at $12.50 a month.
There used to be a time when you could get a lifetime subscription to TiVo. Are you still doing that or no?
Yeah, on these Romeo products, we still have a lifetime subscription, except for the OTA. The OTA has a fee attached to it for some of the aggregation that we do when you look in your menu system and you see your favorite show that's maybe on broadcast is also on Netflix or it's also on Hulu. We aggregate all that together just to make it simple for you.
Fantastic. Well, I've been a long-time TiVo user and glad to see you're here and continuing to innovate. Thank you so much. Now everybody knows this show is called Home Theater Geeks. But I'm also a musician, and when I ran across this table here at CE Week, I couldn't resist bringing it to you because it is so cool. The company is called Roli, and I'm talking with Evan O'Brien, who's the head of artist relation for Roli, and tell us about this remarkable keyboard.
Thanks so much. Yeah, so this is an incredibly expressive musical instrument that reimagines the piano keyboard as a soft, seamless, pressure-sensitive control surface.
And the keys are like little humps in this sort of rubberized surface.
Yeah, we call them key waves, and it's made out of a patented silicone surface.
Amazing. Now, obviously it doesn't feel the same as playing like a MIDI keyboard or a piano or something like that. Do keyboard players generally get used to it pretty quick?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it really depends on your approach. We like to say this isn't a keyboard, it's a Seaboard, and it's a new instrument. So like any new instrument, there's a new kind of application and techniques that go along with that.
And I guess it's simply a MIDI controller, right? And you could plug it into your computer and control any synthesized sound.
Well, it's an incredibly robust MIDI controller that works with a ton of third-party synths, as well as our own software, including Equator, which is a great multi-dimensional soft synth that is also really unique in that you could load sounds onto the Seaboard and play them directly from the Seaboard without being connected to a computer.
So it's got some memory internal, and you can and oscillate or whatever you need circuit-wise to be a self-contained musical instrument.
Absolutely. You can store up to 48 great sounds and play audio directly from the Seaboard as a standalone synth, and of course it's also a MIDI controller as well.
Yeah. Is it available in the US right now?
It is. We ship all over the world.
And what's the cost?
This is $1,999 on our studio model here. This is 37 key waves. We have our Seaboard Grand Stage with 61 key waves at $2,999. Then we also have the limited first edition, which is our 88 key wave model. Comes with a robust stand that's custom made and matches the design aesthetic of the Seaboard as well.
How long did it take to develop and bring to market?
I believe about 5 years. Roland Lamb is the inventor and CEO, incredibly talented individual. And he's an amazing keyboard player himself, and he started this as I believe, a school project. It's kind of like thinking, how do I expand on what's been established by probably the most important musical instrument of the past hundreds of years? that really goes beyond what's possible with a mechanical key that goes up and down or some kind of peripheral device that means you have to move your hands or your feet. Why not put that power in your fingertips and make that more expressive, just like, say, a guitarist could do with guitar strings?
Well, this is the really cool thing about it. You don't have to move your hand away from the keyboard to do an expression wheel or a pitch bend wheel or something like that. You can do everything just by moving your finger around on the key. It's remarkable. I think we're going to take a little listen here.
Cool. Thanks.
I'm here at BenQ talking with Brian Alexander, marketing and event coordinator, and I wanted to highlight this really cool thing that BenQ did, a Bluetooth speaker that uses electrostatic panels. That's like so cool.
It is. We wanted to do something truly innovative, not only with the design, but the actual sound. And so here you have the world's first electrostatic Bluetooth speaker. Now with that, a lot of people get confused on, what does electrostatic even mean? A lot of Bluetooth speakers are really going to be great at the bass, the low end, as well as just being generally loud. We wanted to do something truly creative, and we came up with this idea that why isn't there a focus on the mid to high range? So electrostatic technology really incorporates that, and we decided to include that in this new speaker. The panels fold in and out. Those are the electrostatic panels, and you'll be able to hear a truly crisp, clear, and a unique clarity with the sound that comes through it.
But of course, electrostatics aren't well known for their low frequency response.
No, not normally, but to kind of offset that, we made sure to fine-tune the bass so it's accurate. So while you might not have a full sounding, hard-hitting bass that's big in pop music, you do have something that's going to come across and feel very accurate.
And what I guess what I was trying to say was that you also, in addition to the electrostatic panels, have some sort of dynamic woofer in the main body there to bring up the bass, so to speak.
Correct. We didn't want to forget about that. We have the woofer that's built into the back right there, so it comes across with that clear sound.
And what are the input options? Bluetooth, obviously.
Correct. You have a Bluetooth option as well as you have a line in for auxiliary cable input. So anything that connects via Bluetooth signal or that can be plugged into by a port, you can play it through there. As well, it has a line out for speakers.
This is called the Trevolo, right?
Yes, sir. Trevolo.
Is it available now?
It is currently available. The price right now was mapped at $299. You can buy it at both Amazon or as well as our own BenQ.us site.
One thing is, obviously there isn't much stereo separation, but there isn't with just about any Bluetooth speaker, so you're not really at a disadvantage there, are you?
No, you're really not missing out on much just because of that. Like I said, while it's different, it's still on the same level as other general speakers. It's still going to give you a full sound at the end of the day.
Now, because it's electrostatic, you've got sound waves coming off the back as well as off the front, and I wonder if that means that you need to be careful about the placement. Like if you put it right up against a wall, it'll sound different than if it's out in the middle of the room, right?
Exactly. I think our optimal preference when it comes to placement is about ear level, right up against the wall almost, because the sound will be able to bounce off and create a full atmosphere sound for you.
Well, that's it from CE Week 2015. You can always find me online at avsforum.com. You can email me at scott@twit.tv. And you can follow me on Twitter at htgeekscott and at avsforum. And you can always find previous episodes of Home Theater Geeks right here at twit.tv/htg. Also on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/twit-home-theater-geeks. Next week is the first Thursday of the quarter, which means I'll be answering questions from the chat room. So get your questions ready and log in to the chat room at irc.twit.tv, and we will have a lively discussion, I'm sure. Until then, geek out.